Hi everybody, it's me, Rogue Assassin, here with another video. It's Tuesday today, as you can see. It's Tuesday today, and I'm doing this what if. This what if is a new what if that I want to do, and I want to try it out. Um, the characters you'll see here will be familiar, but they won't actually be Naruto. They'll just be how Naruto reacts to certain things. So let's begin. Obviously, we have to begin where it all started with Naruto's story. The Nine Tails attack. The Nine Tails attack is basically goes the same, nothing different. The Nine Tails attack obviously goes the same, as I stated. With Minato stealing the Nine Tails, and instead of half of the Nine Tails, he steals the entire Nine Tails in Naruto. The same words are exchanged by Minato and Kushina as in canon, before they basically die. Obviously, the third Hokage comes along and basically takes Naruto. Female Naruto, I have to state. Female Naruto is transferred into an orphanage, where she lives some of her life. Now, female Naruto is not that person to go out and make friends. She's not loud and abrupt. She's very quiet, and she likes to watch people. Watch how people act, watch what people do. She once caught a Jonin teaching a small little child, basically chakra control. She caught this person because I would say that she caught. Hmm, I'd say that she caught an Uchiha. Busy, Jonin Uchiha basically training a group of other Uchiha. Smaller Uchiha chakra control. I just had to get the words for a minute. Sorry if I stopped. Now, chakra control basically she would get off the bat. Just by watching, she would understand the concept and how it would work. Basically, she's a very intelligent person, as she would practice chakra control at a very young age. But that's all she would practice. She wouldn't learn much more. As I would say that she would also see a few Jonin basically fighting. One Jonin using taijutsu and the other one using basically jutsu and taijutsu. The one being physically stronger and faster, and basically the other one trying to avoid this one's punches and attacks. The one would be a weird Jonin wearing a green suit that would be shouting about the flames of youth. She didn't understand any of the words that was coming out of his mouth and thought he was just weird. The second Jonin would be a quiet and silent and observant person. Not that much for talking. Person that she liked. She kind of grew a keen attraction towards this person. No, not sexual attraction, you degenerates there in your backgrounds. I can see your faces already. Not sexual attraction. I mean attraction as a child to a father, because it's very silent. Not much words. And the way he's basically letting off this mood, it's very chill. She's kind of attracted to something like that. Not sexual attraction, you dumb. I'd rather not complete that sentence. Never mind. Okay, continue on this what if. Now, yes, she would still be treated as in canon. She would be treated by people staring, people chasing after her and beating her up, vice versa. But it would be so bad that it basically happens on a daily basis. And on a birthday, it would be even worse, because some ninja would join in. Yes, she has chakra control, and yes, she has the gist of how to use it, but she doesn't have much of an idea on how to use basically chakra for ninjutsu. She just knows the physical boost aspect. She would keep kind of be running away from the she would kind of be running away from the people, but the ninjas would always catch her and then beat her up. And then the mob would come and beat her after the ninjas were done. It would be brutal, and something would change in Naruto. Female Naruto, I have to state. Naruto, instead of gaining a dislike for the mob beating her up, she would gain more of a liking to pain, an odd liking to pain. Every time when the mob would finish beating her up, she would lie there on the ground, basically laughing and panting, like she actually enjoyed it. As this would basically change the way she basically does things. This would change a lot of things. If you think about it, she likes pain. There's no person in this world that is crazy enough to enjoy pain. Not even Orochimaru. And yet we have Naruto. She enjoys pain. She enjoys being harmed by others. It's just the thrill and the way it feels. It tingles, as she states. As, yes, she would get this from a Pacific character. This would be, I would say, a weird effect from, let's just say this would be a weird effect that happened when Minato sealed the Nine Tails inside her. It would be a weird miss effect, a backlash effect. It's not a negative effect, more like a positive effect. She would gain the traits of three people that died long, long time ago. People that died long, long time ago. And one of these effects would be taking place. Now, the character I'm showing you on screen is Darkness, from Konosuba. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you do, because it's a very, very, very enjoyable anime. You enjoy it as much as the next person. Characters are very funny, and I like all the characters. Even though Aqua is trash and is useless as Sakura, still, I still like Aqua as a character. Now, if you're wondering how does she has Darkness's trait for loving pain, well, it would be something about the Reaper Death Seal. The Reaper Death Seal obviously is tied to death, first of all, but the Reaper Death Seal also has a backlash. Sealing that amount of power in a newborn baby will have a certain backlash, and this is one of the backlashes. It would take a random person and a random group of people and basically give that baby a certain trait, or give them traits of that person that died. Now, the group of people that the Reaper Death Seal chose was, unfortunately, all the Konosuba crew, all of the characters from Konosuba, which was Darkness, Aqua, the girl that loves explosion, and the main male antagonist himself. Yes, and even though these people has been isekai'd, they can't outrun old age. So, yeah, that's how they died. But now Naruto has their traits. Well, mostly Darkness's traits at the moment. She also has the trait of. Now the way this is gonna work. We all know her. We all know her love for explosions. To the point where it just gets weird. We all know this. Now, how do I interpret this in the world of Naruto? It would be simple. Naruto loves jutsu. That's it. Naruto loves jutsu and weapons, especially swords. Naruto has sneaked into the library before. And yes, he has snuck into the ninja portion of the library, where he has read up on some of the basic ninjutsus and things that she could do. But one of the most interesting books that she really likes are the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. She really wants to get her hands on these swords. They're so interesting. And she really likes weapons. Any odd and new weapon she comes across, she would really like to get her hands on it and see how it works. It's just this affection for weapons that makes her a bit more odd. Even though she's a silent character, if you basically if you basically are a creep and you spy on her, you realize that she has her own crazy features. And these are the two crazy things about her. The next trait is basically her you can say, I wouldn't say it's a Kekigenkai. I wouldn't say it's a Kekigenkai. It's something that she got from Aqua. Yin and Yang release. She got Yin and Yang release from Aqua. Because Aqua is a goddess, as she states, I would I would believe that she would basically be tied to Yin and Yang. So yes, Naruto is fluent and not a master. She's just, yeah, one of her main like chakra elements is yin and yang, but it won't show, as Naruto is basically in the library looking around through the ninja side, basically looking for jutsus and things that Naruto could do. Naruto discovers a few jutsu, yes, here and there, but nothing that Naruto would want to use. Until Naruto discovers basically reading about chakra paper, as Naruto would head to the Hokage to ask about this. As I would say, the Hokage would basically give Naruto, like, basically at least a paper. Or two papers, just in case. Two chakra papers. As Naruto would do as the instruction follows on the book that she read. As she would learn her elements that she is fluent in. Fire, water, wind, and earth. Four elements, plus on top of that, lightning. Why is she fluent in lightning though? Well, that's for another story that you're about to learn. Or basically I can tell you, Minato was the Yellow Flash. And I would say Minato has a specific release that involves lightning. He's one of his chakra natures was lightning, but he never used it. So I would say Naruto would get this. Naruto would also get the fire release from her, obviously. Girl that loves explosion, she would get the water release from Aqua, wind release from Darkness, and earth release from Konosuba. I think that's his name. Or I don't actually know his name, but the main antagonist of Konosuba, as he would have all five element natures. On the first page, as the second page would turn black and white. Confusing Naruto, but Naruto chucks it up to something that just basically something wrong must have happened. That chakra paper was defective or something like that. Naruto doesn't realize that she also has a release of yin and yang, which are pretty rare releases and almost nobody has them. As Naruto would be training in jutsus, basically looking in the library, finding certain jutsus for fire, wind, water, and lightning. Mostly fire, um, fire bullet, lightning bullet, water bullet, earth bullet, and wind bullet. That's it. Those are the only jutsus Naruto learns. Basically five, basically five elements, five bullets. Fire bullet, water bullet, earth bullet, wind bullet, and lightning bullet. That's it. As I would say that the books wouldn't say anything about other jutsu. As Naruto would also read about the things that you could dab into. Genjutsu, ninjutsu, taijutsu, um, taijutsu, um, fu, fuinsh, fuinshin jutsu, or teleportation jutsu, and sealing jutsu. Don't know its name. Now, yes, one would be about weapons, the other one would be basically fists, one would be about ninjutsu, the other one would be a genjutsu. Everyone knows what genjutsu is, illusion based, and sealing jutsu. Sorry about that. Now the sealing jutsu, now obviously she would learn about these traits, and maybe ask the Hokage if the Hokage could teach her, as the Hokage has to refuse. Reasons being the Hokage can't teach Naruto because the Hokage is very, very busy. Reason is very busy, as he's leading a village and he's pretty old. But at his times off, he will teach Naruto some weak jutsu, and that's it. As Naruto accepts that. Now we skip forward to when Naruto is in school, or at the Ninja Academy, as Naruto is learning about the history of ninjas, as Naruto didn't really make a lot of friends. Naruto didn't really make a lot of friends, except for one shy girl named Hinata. He saved, she saved Hinata from a group of people that were trying to take her. These being obviously um, the Cloud Village. She caught the Cloud Village off guard, and I would say that she didn't actually defeat them. She just ran out. Basically, she just ran away far enough for the ninjas to deal with them. She got Hinata away from them. Simple. As Hasashi would basically pick up Hinata, as Hasashi is quite angry at Hinata. Reasons being because Hinata needs the Nine-Tails brat of all things to save her, and she couldn't do it herself. As Hasashi basically thinks, Hinata is weak. She couldn't save herself, and she needed to rely on the Nine-Tails brat to save her. She's weak. She's defective. She is not worthy to become the heir to the Hyuga throne. As basically, no, Hinata is treated a bit more worse than in canon. She's not branded with the bird cage seal immediately, but she is basically more treated in a disrespectful way concerning her father. Father doesn't really take note of Hinata. Hinata's accomplishments are nothing to Hasashi, because Hasashi decided a long time on that day when Hinata basically got captured by those cloud ninja and nearly taken away, that she was defective, she was weak, and that he basically didn't really care of her accomplishments. As she started basically training, she started slowly basically as Hinata was training and going for her life. Obviously, Hisashi found a prodigy, a person that is perfect for being the heir to the Hyuga, which was Hinata's sister. Don't know her name, don't have a picture for her, and don't even have a picture of Hinata yet, but yeah, I'll get to that later. Continuing on, I would say that Hinata would basically be more shy and have not a lot of self-esteem as she usually would in canon. But should but where she gets basically a motivation from would be mostly from Naruto. As because she would see how Naruto is treated around the village, and also be sometimes confused at why Naruto is treated like this in the village, but she would also be, I would say, she would also be inspired by her, because even if the village the entire village hates Naruto, even if like they basically beat her up every day, nearly every day, and they kick her out of shops. She still keeps pushing forward and trying to do her best. I would say Naruto would still go to the same restaurant with the ramen as Naruto in canon, and basically get her meals there. Because she can't buy any fresh food to make her own food, she has to go to a fast food area and basically eat there. I would say that she would eat relatively better than Naruto did, because yeah, Naruto, all she has is basically she can't go into any shops but the ramen shop, so she has to rely on basically or getting food from there, because she can't buy any fresh things to make food. So yeah, now continuing on the story, we cut to the we cut to the graduation as as female Naruto has to graduate. Now, I would say Naruto would not be up against Sasuke, as in canon. Reasons being, Naruto's a girl. Now, I would say her battle wouldn't be against Sasuke, it would be against Sakura. Girl against girl. And she would win. It wouldn't be the normal smacking fist that Sakura had against Ino. It would be more of a basically she's fighting somebody that has basically tried to train in taijutsu. And yes, Naruto tries to train in taijutsu, and it wouldn't be more of a smacking fest like the last battle with Sakura and Ino. And it wouldn't be a tie either, as Naruto would win, basically showing her basically fighting prowess in taijutsu. And a lot of the people, or boys and girls, would be not scared of Naruto, but would be disgusted at Naruto. Reasons? Naruto doesn't act like a girl. Naruto acts like more of a boy. A brawler type boy. A boy belonging to the streets. That type. She's not really one for neatness and tidiness. She just wants to get things done. She's very physically fit, but no one can see that because of the clothes she's wearing. Continuing on, as now came the Shadow Clone test. They were supposed to do the substitution, the clone jutsu, and I would say the the transformation jutsu as well. Don't remember the names. It's been a while since I done Naruto What If, so excuse me. As Naruto would do the substitution jutsu, the transformation jutsu, as she transforms into a teacher, as then came the Shadow Clone jutsu. As Sasuke stated, basically, like the emo he is, there Naruto fails again, as Naruto tries her hardest to do the clone jutsu. Naruto fails, as Naruto is defeated, as everyone laughs while Sasuke and Sakura smirk. Very evil smirk. As now he has to fail her, which he was going to do anyway, because as we all know, he still has that grudge against the Nine Tails. Until, basically, as in canon, the same guy asked Naruto to seal the scroll of sealing. Don't know his name. I really don't know a lot of characters in Naruto's names because it's been a while since I watched Naruto and done a what if on Naruto. As she does that as in canon. As Naruto still checks the scroll of sealing, hoping to snag a few powerful jutsus, along the way. Naruto basically grabs the Water Dragon Jutsu and the opposite for the both Earth, Fire, Water, and Lightning. It's basically nearly the same hand signs, just with a different element. As also with a slight hand sign change, so it was easy for her to write down, and for her to understand. Next one she snagged was the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Then she snagged the Rasengan because it's a big and flashing move, and didn't need hand signs. She also snagged the requirements for it, and the final one was the Raisen. Basically, she imagined her disappearing and reappearing in a yellow flash. It would really shock everyone, and she would really want to master it. She also wanted to practice some sealing, so she looked through the scroll a bit more, and I would say that she would find like certain base. I would say no. I would say she wouldn't find anything that she was looking for when doing sealing, neither genjutsu. She would find some genjutsu things here, but she wouldn't be able to do the jutsu. Because number one, it requires a specific amount of chakra control that she had no control over yet. Quite yet. But yeah, as Naruto would be basically done writing her stuff down and pocket the information in her, basically hiding it. As she would close the forbidden scroll and he would still appear, basically telling Naruto to give the scroll over as her teacher would also appear, stating that mustn't listen and not must that she mustn't listen to him and that he's lying to her. He would still throw the massive shuriken at Naruto as in canon, and his teacher would still basically defend her, as she would state why. As everything in canon would still go, as basically he would state that she's not a monster and she wasn't the one that destroyed the Leaf Village. Because he would still tell her that the one that's after the scroll would still tell her that yes, she's the Ninetales. She's the reason why everyone hates her. And she's the reason why the Leaf Village was destroyed. And her teacher is trying to basically say that it wasn't her fault. That she's the reason why the Leaf Village is still standing today. Because she's keeping that beast at bay. And that she's not a monster. She's a hero. As she would still get the courage that she did and perform the Shadow Clone Jutsu. She would perform the Shadow Clone Jutsu and basically do an all-out beatdown on the one that was after the scroll, scoring her the victory. As now we, she returns the scroll back to her teacher, that gives it back to Hiruzen, as Hiruzen was watching the entire events unfold this whole time. As he smiles, stating that basically Hiruzen can't wait to see what she learns in that scroll. That a few jutsus that she picked up. Hiruzen couldn't see what she wrote down, but Hiruzen saw that she stopped at certain sections. And that Hiruzen can't wait to see the jutsus that she masters that are meant to be forbidden. Now, now, if you're wondering why a water dragon jutsu is inside the scroll, it there was three parts to a specific jutsu. It was a water dragon jutsu, another requirement, and another requirement to do a final jutsu. That was a forbidden jutsu. But Naruto didn't copy the three requirements to do this jutsu, she just copied the water dragon jutsu, which was showing the water dragon jutsu and then showing the certain requirements and certain like things that you can do to perform this forbidden jutsu. So she just copied the water dragon jutsu and didn't copy the rest. So that's how she just gets the water dragon jutsu. Because it's one step basic to another forbidden jutsu. So yeah. As also reasons why she's gonna be learning the water dragon jutsu you're gonna discover now. Or you're gonna discover in a later time. Because she's gonna be able to do a few things with this. Because she has all five chakra natures and yeah, yin and yang release. Naruto would be training in these jutsus and also discover very, very early on that shadow clones are quite useful. Reasons being that everything the shadow clone learns goes back to the original. So that means training would be quite fast for her, as she would make basically 10 shadow clones to basically work on each of the elements. Reasons why she didn't make 100, because 10 she figured would be enough for each of the elements that she was doing. Now the elements that she was doing was all 5 elements, so that would be it's basically 50. Didn't know why I was still counting there. It's basically 50. It's basically 50 clones. As the other 50 clones, technically she did make 100, but she didn't put 100 on basically the jutsus that the dragon jutsus that she was learning. And then she made 100 to try and master the Rasengan. She would basically be able to find the requirements like the balloon, obviously. So she would be able to find the requirements of how to make the Rasengan. Actually, no, she would only make like 10. So it would be 60 clones that she made to do each jutsu, including the Rasengan. Because she would still need to do the 3 things that she needs steps before completing the Rasengan. As she would do the 3 steps. Uh, this is a time skip, by the way. By the time she masters the Rasengan, it's basically time to meet her Jonin sensei. And yes, Naruto passed, obviously as in canon. Nothing different there. As Naruto has to meet her Jonin sensei. I would say that Naruto would be in class, as she would be waiting for her Jonin sensei, obviously, as she would be waiting and waiting and waiting. As I would say, her team would be consisted of not trashy Sakura. Her team would consist of Naruto's team would be, or the teams would be, Team 7 would be one of the teams that would be changing. Team 7 being Sasuke. Sasuke, gosh, I do not know his art. Sasuke, Kiba, and Sakura would be on one team on Team 7. The next team would be Hinata, Ino, and Naruto, as they would be the next team, as their Jonin Sensei would be appearing. Their Jonin Sensei would appear. Teammate Kurenai Sensei. She would come to pick up her team, as Naruto is quite happy with the Jonin Sensei he got, or she got. Reasons why is because Kurenai Sensei is known as the Genjutsu Mistress. That's what she heard from some ninjas, or some shinobi speak about her, Kurenai Sensei. And even the third Hokage spoke about some of the Jonin Senseis as well, like Kurenai. So he was quite happy. Reasons being, he wants to basically learn some genjutsu that Naruto would be proficient in with his massive chakra pool and limited chakra control. Maybe he might learn something. He never knows. As also he's on a team with her best friend, Hinata. As also quite happy. Another team on the people that hate her the most. Sakura, Sasuke, and Shikamaru. As Sasuke, Sakura, and Kiba, I mean. Gosh damn, I keep on getting the names kind of wrong. Sorry about that if I got the names wrong. I mean Kiba. Why does Kiba hate her? Kiba is always trying to, you can say, be the top dog. And Naruto hates that about her. And hates that about him. As reasons Naruto just doesn't like Naruto just doesn't like Kiba. It's not that Kiba doesn't like Naruto, it's just Naruto doesn't like Kiba. Because Kiba is trying to be just alpha. And she doesn't like that about him. As I would say that Naruto would be fine with this arrangement. And also happy. No complaints. She also finds that Ino is very quiet, not much outside. Also Hinata. She's too scared to say something. And Naruto, well, Naruto doesn't say anything either. Naruto is also a quiet person. As yeah, that would be the team arrangement. Now I'm gonna stop it there. And until next time, guys. On the next video, I might do part 2. Tell me if you like the arrangement of the teams. And tell me your basically ideas on what, like, basically you think is going to happen in this what if. Because I added some traits of the Konosuba crew to Naruto. So what do you think is going to happen? Some things are going to change, some things are going to stay the same. Just have to find out and see. Now, until the next video, guys. Bye.